Hello there, welcome to Marcelian Online, and let's talk about add-ons. Patch 11.1 just released and you have to hit it up in style with add-ons that improve your questing experience, adding immersion, add-ons that give you all the character info you need to manage your best in slot gear, but also improve your DPS and healing, and let's just get this started. We use CurseForge for all of our add-ons, by the way, so all recommendations that we have can be found there. Once you have CurseForge installed and your game synced with it, you can simply use the search function to find any and all add-ons you want, and the first add-on you need to get is Plater, and not just any Plater, but our Plater. With the Marcelian Online Plater profile, you will have a streamlined experience in tackling high-end PvE content, but also outdoor content, where every little mob and spell cast, interrupt, frontal, dodge, and more is going to be color-coded so you know exactly what to expect. It will be way easier to manage your targets if you want to interrupt or control one in particular. You'll be able to see which ones you have aggro on and which ones are about to attack your party. Sorry guys, new tank here. Marcelian will actually have a dedicated Plater video going into the details of what everything means next week. Suffice to say, your dungeons and raids will be easier to tackle. Once you have Plater installed, type /Plater in chat and you will get this massive menu. To use ours or any other profile, find it on wago.io or in the description. Copy the import string, which is a big fat wall of text. Then go back into the Plater menu, click the profiles section, hit the import button and paste the string you just copied. Once you hit OK, your game will reload or ask you to reload. Once that is done, you have the profile you want. Another add-on you should 100% get if you enjoy doing almost every activity in the game is Zygor. Zygor has guides for everything under the sun in WoW, from retail, the War Within, to classic, Seasons of Discovery, Cataclysm, and hardcore. You want to farm reputations? It has a guide for it. You saw a cool mount questline drop from a rare and have no idea where to go, what to farm, who to talk to? Zygor has it. On top of actually providing you with a lot of benefits you would need 3 to 4 extra add-ons for, like map icons for treasures and rares and a list of world quests with their rewards, Zygor just packs really everything in one add-on. It is indeed behind the subscription, which you can decide if it's worth it, considering you have all of these guides at your fingertips in game with arrow tracking your progress step by step. And if you want to give it a go, there is a free trial, but also clicking our link below and using our code Marcelian, you will get 20% discount and will be supporting us and the content that we do. Weakauras is a tool that we think, for better or worse, is necessary if you want to make your gameplay more efficient. Essentially, Weakauras is good to display buffs, debuffs, damage procs, cooldowns, rotational abilities, and more, making it easier for you to track what is happening in the game. The problem with these things is that although the game tracks most of them already, they are hidden in the top right part of your screen and almost impossible to spot amidst 20 other procs, buffs, and other things. They're all happening at once, by the way. There are thousands of Weakauras you can add to your arsenal. You probably shouldn't add them all, but we already have some of ours as well. Some of the Weakauras you will see in our videos and streams include the raidability timeline that shows a scrolling bar of boss abilities and mechanics. This is really good if you want to time your gameplay around whatever is about to happen. We also use the ultimate mouse cursor because the combat can get pretty chaotic at times and losing your mouse cursor is not unusual. Marcelian uses the Atonement Weakauras specifically for his main Discipline Priest that lights up the party and raid frames to let you know who will be getting healed. Definitely something you will see whenever he plays Discipline. But also our specific Weakauras that we made. Similar to Plater, once your Weakaura add-on is installed, hit /WA in chat in-game and click the import button to paste in your Weakaura that you just copied. You can find Weakauras on wago.io and we have ours in the description of this video if you want to get anything specific from either Marcelian or myself. I am currently working on adding more and more classes as I end up playing them, and we'll keep them updated whenever changes happen on my profile, and we'll post them in the Discord as well. Speaking of Marcelian's Discipline Priest, he also uses the Cell add-on to organize his healing frames. If you ever used healing add-ons before, chances are they were the inspiration for this one, which is a way more user-friendly add-on when organizing your healing frames for parties and raids. Marcelian uses automatic Jack's profile for his priest that he made some changes to, and you can find it in the description again, or simply search for one you like on wago.io. Once you have it installed, type in chat /cell space options, click the About tab, and in this section you will see the Import button at the bottom. Paste your profile here and huzzah, you are donezo. If you use the raid ability timeline Weakara, you will need either DBM or BigWigs. Either one of these will work, and these are essential to track mechanics that are happening in raids and dungeons. Nothing to set up here, just have them installed and you are good to go. I mean, you can edit them if you like. I personally use BigWigs and LittleWigs and make the tracking bars as tiny as possible and out of the way as possible, since I just don't like my screen being flooded with alerts. But as a Mythic raider, I kind of have to keep track of certain things to be able to react in time, and these usually are done by Weakauras, keeping BigWigs mostly as an enabler. DBM works the same, by the way. For your bags, you should definitely get Bagnator, one of the fastest and easiest to set up bag add-ons to keep things organized, filtered, and set up to your preferences. You can just install it and use it as is, or tweak it to your preferences. I have to admit that I am normally a minimalist, especially when it comes to add-ons, and I heard about this one from Marcelian, and I haven't used bag add-ons in over a few years. I think at least. And this one really changed my mind. It was so simple. After installing it, all I did was just select the category option that was on the screen and boom, that's it. The actual filtering is so good that it feels like a crime the game doesn't just already have this built in already. Maybe we can live in a world where Blizz can pay these add-on makers to work on the base UI in the future. To be young and full of dreams. Although Zygor does most of the things I need for auctioning, buying and selling, I personally like Auctionator on top of it whenever I decide to craft some stuff and sell it. The UI is very intuitive and seamless and limits your activity to a few clicks. Not to mention that if you open your auction house window and then your crafting profession window, you have a button on your recipe that says search, and it searches the items on the auction house that are necessary to craft that item plus the actual finite product, while giving you the details on the gold you would be making or losing if you end up crafting and selling it. You'll also get a list of materials the recipe needs, where simply clicking each individual one will let you purchase the exact amount you need for a craft. Simple and efficient for those who don't want a hassle and spend hours on the auction house. You may have noticed up until now that our action bars and character frames have these dark and mysterious colors, or maybe a class-specific and iconic coloring. That, my friend, is done by FrameColor. There are multiple ways to customize this, as with many other add-ons, but you can keep the default dark version without any extra hassle. Otherwise, you can pretty much color code the entire UI specifically or based on your class representative color. I said color so much here, I want to paint a Van Gogh right about now. But instead, we will go to the next add-on. I need more friends. Which is going to be the Better Character panel, an add-on that improves your character window screen by adding information about what enchant and gem your gear has or is missing. This is pure quality of life to give you a quick visual on the status of your character, mostly if you play multiple alts, since once your character is fully gemmed and enchanted, this add-on doesn't really have any other benefits. And speaking of alts, the best add-on to manage playing alts in different parts of the game is Alter Ego. I personally have made no changes to it, so what you see is the default version. This add-on gets updated with the raid status of your characters, weeklies completed, dungeons done, and so on once you have logged into said character. So for the first time you enable this and log into your toon, you will only see the information of the current character you are on. As you play, this will naturally stay up to date, but keep that in mind for your first try. Dialogue UI is an add-on I started using with the War Within, and I am not sure I can go back to the regular questing UI. This is an amazing immersive option for people who do quests and actually read the quest text. When you talk to an NPC, it zooms in to your character in an over-the-shoulder fashion and opens up the quest window in a parchment-like design that really gets you into engaging with your questing. It's also bigger, so you can actually read like a human being. Similarly, I just had it installed with no changes, but you can customize it in multiple ways to personalize your own questing experience. And lastly, you cannot play WoW without a damage meter, since your ego will starve to death. Or maybe that's just mine. Details is the way to go, clearly, since on top of actually showing you the DPS people do, you can track actually important information like dispels, interrupts, buff uptime, crowd controls, and so much more. Marcelian Online does not support using details to trash on your party and raid members, but instead to learn about your own gameplay and try to improve. Or flex it. Flex it, it's fine. You may also have noticed on our footage and stream that my details have a very blizzardy look to them, and that's because I downloaded an extra add-on that's called the War Within skin. This is actually a skin for details which you can enable by clicking the cogwheel on your details window, going into the skins section right here and clicking the drop-down menu here. You'll also see the War Within skin right there among many other options to customize your details as you see fit. By hovering your mouse over the cogwheel button, you will get more options, one of which is the create new window option to add more detailed screens. Right-clicking on each one lets you set up exactly what information you want, and you can snap them together for a cleaner look on your UI. This video should help you get started with the best quality of life and practical add-ons in 11.1. Also, if you're still struggling picking a class to main, we already have a video out talking about the best starter classes for 11.1 depending on what content you want to do right here.